Welcome to season 4 of TuneIn. Today, we are going to talk about a challenging yet interesting topic. And you would guess the topic when I let you know who our guest for today is. It is none other than Amit Pande, Senior Vice President, Audit Risk and Compliance. Welcome to the show, Amit.
Thank you, Dipti, for having me here.
Great. It's a pleasure to have you, Amit. So, Amit, first thing first, please simplify the audit risk and compliance for our listeners.
In healthcare, we talk about patient wellness. In my function, it is all about organizational wellness. So think of it like this. Audit is the medical checkup. It is the physical examination that is done to identify potential ailments. In a similar way, audit identifies potential vulnerabilities into an organization's processes and policies. Risk management is applying the right treatment to prevent a major illness like a cyber attack or a data breach. And compliance is nothing but preventive care. It is the daily healthy habits, the diet, the exercise that keeps us within the legal and regulatory health guidelines. So that's in a simple way, audit risk and compliance. Audit is medical checkup, risk is treatment, and compliance is preventive care.
Wow, that's a very good analogy, Amit, that you have given to our listeners and to me. So now, because we are into healthcare and you mentioned about medical checkup and we are majorly into it, my next question is, healthcare is big on security. So
Yes.
what does a HiTrust certified HIPAA compliant cloud setup really give us?
Great. So I think before I go there, let's just try to understand what is HIPAA and what is HiTrust. Okay. So HIPAA is a US federal law that sets the standards to protect patient health information. This is a must do. It's a non-negotiable. We need to follow each and everything in letter and spirit that's mentioned in the law. Now, what is HiTrust? HiTrust is a certifiable framework which takes and integrates best practices from standards such as ISO, NIST, and regulations such as HIPAA into one system. So HiTrust certification is the gold standard. Now, what does it give to IKS? One, it gives us guaranteed security. No matter how much you go and say we have the best in class security infrastructure. Now, what HiTrust actually does it's not just we saying it, but it is verified and an independent world-class body confirming it. And secondly, it gives us proactive protection. HiTrust as a standard requires us to build mature security programs, and that makes us incredibly resilient against constant evolving cyber threats. So that's what HiTrust certified actually means to us at IKS.
Great. I think HIPAA and HiTrust both stand very important for us, and we know the importance now. So our next question basis this is, how can we develop scalable, compliant infrastructure for innovation, supporting business agility by safeguarding sensitive health data?
Wow, that's that's actually an ongoing challenge as well as an opportunity. And I say this because we must be fast, but we cannot afford to make a single error. And that's why it becomes very, very critical. Now, the key to this is designing compliance into the foundation. So at IKS Health, what we focus on is a secure by design architecture, which follows by standardized cloud controls and automated continuous monitoring. All of this together allows our teams to innovate while guardrails ensure sensitive health data remains protected.
So when you say that we are working on sensitive health data, how does HIPAA help into this?
So HIPAA has requirements in terms of, it gives us requirements that we need to fulfill from a regulatory perspective to protect this data, which means who has access to data. What is the level of access that the person has? Is the access only based on need, or is it given to everyone without any need? So all of these requirements come from the regulation. And what we do, when I said about the secure by design architecture, we ensure that in the architecture itself, we design it in a way that Information is available only to the right party who's authorized to view that information and no one else. And that's how we control that data.
Oh, interesting, Amit. So now this is again a simple casual question just for employees. What should employees keep in mind to maintain data privacy daily?
Mhm. I would put it in a way, we should have a zero trust, high respect mindset. What I mean by that is zero trust. Every employee should act as if they are the last line of defense. Never assume that an email is safe. Never share passwords. Always follow policies and SOPs. And most importantly, if you are in doubt, stop and verify. That is zero trust. And high respect. Remember, the data that we handle, it's just not information, but it is someone's health story. So be mindful of what data you access, where you store it, with whom you share it. Treat it with respect. I think simple habits such as locking screens, using approved tools, reporting suspicious activities, and following protocols go a long way. Data privacy starts with simple everyday choices. If we remember this, we are safe.
I'm sure at IKS Health, everyone is following this, and you're there as the police to guard us. So, Amit, next is rapid fire, and you don't have time to think, okay? If you think, you are losing on it. So, quickly, I need these answers. Audit in one word.
Checkup.
Biggest risk people often ignore.
The human shortcut.
One simple habit that keeps you compliant.
Staying alert, being focused.
AI in compliance, friend or foe?
Friend, a tireless medical assistant.
Wow. Email, chat, or call? Your go-to for quick clarifications?
Call.
Wow, that was quick and you didn't even think of it. So I am sure our audience must have really loved the analogy on audit risk and compliance, and they must have understood the challenging part of this process and the protocol that we follow. So thank you, Amit, so much for joining us and shedding light on audit risk and compliance.
Thank you, Dipti, for having me. And all I would like to say at the end is, following the basics is important, and that keeps us going. Thank you.
Of course, Amit, everyone would do that. To our listeners, stay tuned. We'll be back with our next episode soon. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.